let me ask you, Anurag Aman, do you agree with that assessment that the worst isn't over? And therefore, what does that mean for the Indian startup ecosystem at the moment? And, it went through this lovely golden period, but is that over?
So let me, Nidhi, just tell one thing. See, this is not a new phenomenon in India. If you really look at it, if you go to almost every year, many organizations which are, whether they are in manufacturing setup, whether they are in banking and financial services setup, whether they are in even IT setup, it does happen on a regular basis in different ways. Now today, the situation seems to be fairly stark simply because during COVID, we saw significant excess hiring. During COVID, we also saw, because of the demand, of course, we also saw that, the compensation levels that were there in the market for technology talent, it went through the roof. And every hot skill was actually priming at almost, 20 to 30%, even above, say, 90th percentile of the compensation range of a particular level. Now, in that scenario, everybody, just to retain this talent, they ended up paying all of that. The other part for the Indian startup ecosystem was that when we started building the organization, some of the basic things, if you really look at how do you create that organization, what are the kind of levers that you keep in mind, some of those actually multiplied simply because they were in a rush to grow. The scale was too large to let go of. So hence, everybody started doing that. Today, when you look at any of this, the change that is taking place, I think it is only because, we just over-invested at that point in time. Today, when companies are going for whether it is the investors are asking questions on accountability on the cost side, the cost to income ratios, or investors are asking for, how do you manage, so much of a talent while the business is not there or business is seeing headwinds. That's the time when they're looking at, scaling it back. On the other hand, there are IPOs coming up, right? A lot of IPOs we have seen, their costs, again, the valuations are very high, but the real revenues of these firms are very low. From that scenario, they have to actually slow it down. Having said all of this, I don't think we are really seeing the end of the tech boom. I think tech is here to stay. The disruptors may get disrupted a little bit, but I don't see any reason why some of the tech talent, which has been absolutely so coveted, will have any reason to worry.
In a way, perhaps what you're saying is that it'll find its own balance, once, these corrections in a sense are made.